At this point, I am very, very honored to introduce Lestiel Kelly, one of our most courageous clients that NYLAG has served. As a veteran, Lestiel fought for our country, serving in Operation Enduring Freedom for years. But after her service, she and her family found herself in crisis. With the help of not one, not two, but 4 different NYLAG attorneys specializing in different areas of law, Lestiel and her family are now back on their feet. Please join me tonight and welcome Lestiel Kelly to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. There we go. All right. So I am so happy to be here tonight and so honored because the professionalism that NYLAG shows with their clients, it's so heartwarming, and to see everyone here and be able to speak and let you know how this impacts people's lives is just very touching to me. So here I go. My name is Lestiel Kelly, and I am a mother, a wife. I am a disabled veteran and also a survivor of military sexual trauma. When I graduated from high school in 1999, I decided that I wanted to do something fun and outrageous, and I went to the Navy. Back then, the slogan was, "Let the journey begin," and boy, was it a journey. By the time that I had been in a year, I had literally been around the world to countries that I didn't even know existed. While I was in the Navy, I worked on F-14s. And although they were beautiful aircrafts, they needed a lot of manpower and a lot of work. And that required a lot of maintenance. And it was a very physically grueling job, and I was covered in hydraulic fluid and fuel and all kinds of toxins pretty much for 12 to 15 hours a day on a regular basis. After I served, I decided that I needed to keep that high-octane life that I had once had, and I went to culinary school because I felt like, the flight at culinary school, yeah, it makes sense, right? Being in the kitchen, right? Keeping it going. And after I did that, I had a son, and then that was no longer a feasible reality for us because I was a single mom, and I needed to make sure that I could care for my little baby. So I went back to school to City College, and I got my bachelor's in communications. Along the way, I met a wonderful man, my little Care Bear. He's over there, Corey Kelly. And we had a little baby girl. Thank you. And I was living the dream, right? I'm a college graduate. I have a fabulous husband who works in finance. Hello. And I have a boy and a girl, and everything is coming up roses, right? And then all of a sudden, all these little voices that had been in my head for a long time were no longer just whispering at me. They were screaming at me at a high tone. They all had microphones. All the things that I had been suppressing for years were finally bubbling up to the surface. There was no more suppressing. There was no more medicating. There was no more anything. Everything was it was there for everyone to see. And it wasn't just what was going on in my mind. My body had taken a physical toll on me. I had learned to live this mission, right? Put your eyes down and just keep going every day. Every day you just wake up, do what you have to do, and keep it moving. And that was no longer a reality for me. My body was in disarray. I didn't understand why. There was moments that I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself, and that took a toll on my family. My husband had to stop working and take care of me and the children because it was something that I couldn't do anymore. And all of a sudden, my world came crumbling down. Everything I had worked so hard for was just taken from me. While I was in school, I worked at the Harlem Vet Center, and there was something that one of the counselors told me there once. And he said, it normally takes 10 years for a veteran to process process what they went through. And I had just hit my 10-year mark. So the military sexual trauma, I had never talked to anyone about that. I literally just kept it down. And whenever it wanted to bubble up, I just pushed it down. And the little aches and pains in my body, I said, this is normal. Doesn't everybody have this going on? but it's not true. Everybody doesn't wake up every morning and have to wait about 20 to 30 minutes just to get out of bed to be able to function in the day. And that's something that I came to realize later on. Oh, and that culinary school that I had gone to that I thought was like this, new beginning for me, yeah, they preyed on veterans. So now I have all these student loans that were like sitting on us, right, for a career that I hardly ever really lived in. Now we are a year and a half into what became our reality. We were at the VA every day trying to figure out what was wrong with me, mentally and physically. So we had eaten through our savings at this point. Our credit cards were gone. We had an eviction notice. I'm not one to sit down and just say, this is my reality. I'm just gonna accept it as it comes. I went to every organization, every department, anybody who was willing to listen to my sad little story, I was willing to tell. And along the way, I had met someone from NYLAG. But I was just so tired of telling this story. She kept calling me, Isabella. I'll never forget. I don't know if she's here tonight, but Isabella called me. Not once, not twice. I honestly think about 10 times. And then finally, I was like, okay, girl, I'm going to tell you what's going on. So I told Isabella my sad little story, and she did something that no one else had done. Instead of referring me to another agency, she actually gave me the name of lawyers over at NYLAG who were going to help me with my situation. I was like, what? And they did. She got me, and these were all NYLAG attorneys. They got me someone for my Social Security, which I was able to obtain in an exponential amount of time. For my military benefits, which I had been fighting for like 10 years. Okay, for that predatory school, yeah, the student loans, yeah, they got theirs. And on top of that, my landlord had decided that he wanted to jump on the bandwagon, yeah, they got him too. So thanks to NYLAG, yes, round of applause, yes, for the little man, right? So thanks to NYLAG, we were able to clear all that up. My husband was able to go back to work. Oh, and my kids, because when it rains, it pours. Yeah, I thought that I was going cuckoo crazy, but then they were both diagnosed with autism, so we're all on the spectrum. We're a spectrum family. But they're thriving, they're doing amazing, and I found in the midst of all this a new love for holistic medicine and Ayurvedic medicine, and I help veterans do all that now, and I help them with advocating, and I'm like my own little resource center, and I let them know about all the different resources that are out there because I've been through them all, right? And the number one is NYLAG. I'm like, the first thing I'm like, go to NYLAG, they'll save your life, okay? So with that said, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you, NYLAG, so much for everything you have done for me. Please give to this amazing organization. And once again, I have to say, they never made me feel marginalized. They always made me feel like a person. Like, my case was everything to them. At no point did I ever feel that I was just, like a random number. They always made sure that they called, that my case was a priority, and that whatever I was able to obtain, they were going to get from me. So thank you.